Okay. Yeah, well, thank you. It's Martha Guptill. We're at Celebrity-Charities.com. We're at the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention 2013 in Hunt Valley, Maryland.
And I am Randal Malone, and very happy to be sitting here with wonderful Martha, my dear Martha.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. The pleasure is mine, so thank you.
Pleasure is mine completely, but that's awfully sweet of you. That's
Thank
awfully
you.
kind of you.
Well, thank you. Well, Randall, I wanted to ask you about your early childhood and how you chose to go into the theater. If you were talking
Well,
about
of
your early
course,
childhood.
I love movies. As a little boy, growing up in Kentucky, the most exciting thing for me every day was to rush home from school and watch a thing called Dialing for Dollars, where they would play these movies, and it was like a competition. They would call. It's, are you watching the movie? What's the name of it? Somebody would win money. It's why Dialing for Dollars. But I loved movies, and then every morning before school there was a movie channel, and it was called Second Cup Theater. So between Second Cup Theater and Dialing for Dollars, I was an old or classic movie fan at the age of 5, 6, and I loved it. So excuse me just a minute. I'm sorry. You see, we're here at this wonderful convention, and people are coming over, which is what they do at conventions. Right, Martha?
That's right, Randall. That's right.
So I beg your pardon.
And now your theater work in college now.
Oh, okay. Well, I got right involved, so involved because of my love of film, into the plays, everything that they would have in school, and that they would have in the community theater and all that. And then, of course, going to college, I went to Murray State University, and I did everything I could. I love the theater, and there were lots of musicals and that was one of the joyous times of my life. Then from there, of course, came the nightclubs and the plays, the professional plays, then the movies. So, and then television, and then more movies and more movies. And it became, it became a wonderful way to make a living. But I was very blessed to have, find success. But not only that, it was something I loved. Everyone should do what they love, if they're lucky enough to. If you're lucky enough to find out what it is you love, and I loved it so much and still do, and to make a living at it, then you're set. I think that's the true happiness of life, is to love your work and make enough that you can survive.
That's right. And exactly. And then the different television programs you were on.
Oh gosh, I did a lot of TV, but the most memorable and the one I'm most known for is a show called Singled Out, where I played myself for 3 years. I played film star Randal Malone, and that was with Carmen Electra and Chris Hardwick on MTV, and I loved doing that show. That was so much fun, and but I love the movies too. I loved it all. One of the joys that brought me, not just the travel and everything, but is you meet so many wonderful people, like being here with Margaret O'Brien. And because I loved classic Hollywood, I leaned, even though I worked with, so many of the new people, Carmen Electra, I just mentioned, and dozens more. It was the classic Hollywood that I really had a passion for, a love for. And I became friends with so many of them through the years. Cesar Romero, Lucille Ball, people like that, and I just loved it. And that was all more than I could have hoped for. It was a dream come true.
Absolutely. Now, did you have a role model for your acting? Was there anyone or
That's such a
mentor?
good question. There were so many that I admired. I mentioned Lucy. I loved watching I Love Lucy. I think we all do, because it's on every 30 minutes somewhere in the world, I am told. It's one of those shows that never went off the air. I loved the Dick Van Dyke Show as a child, and Rose Marie, and she's a dear friend of mine. She's also my neighbor back in Los Angeles. All of the comedians, Dom DeLuise. I loved the Dom DeLuise Show when I was little. They were all inspirations. I was inspired by so many people. And getting to meet people like Betty Davis and all of those, I just loved it.
Oh my, wonderful experience.
Well, I'm the president of the Motion Picture Council of Los Angeles, Southern California. And so through the years, I got to meet and work with. Just, it was each one I would pass out. It would be more and more. Bob Hope came several years, and so many.
It's wonderful. And I know you have an extreme passion for the animals and the rescue. Would you
well,
please tell me about
that's
that?
Margaret's passion. Most of my friends, our passion is animal, doggy rescue and adoption, placing them in homes where they're where they're happy and where they're going to have a good home, and of course rescuing them from the street or from when their time is up at a pound. I love no-kill shelters, but they're getting fewer and fewer, so we have to do something about that. But that's one of the reasons that is the reason I'm here, aside from being with my dear friend Margaret O'Brien, is to raise money for the animal rescue and the doggy rescue and the doggy adoption. That's so important. And I have 5 doggies, but I've been a dog lover all my life, and it's the strangest thing because you can't plan these things. All my friends are. Margaret is a dog lover. Rosemarie is a dog. All of my friends, every one of them, are dog lovers. So Maria Menounos is a good friend of mine back in Los Angeles, and she has 5 as well. And when we all get together, we've gone to the dogs. It's like 12 doggies running around the house. So.
And you have the tea parties also.
Oh,
am I correct?
she loves that. I have little tea parties for the dog rescue, and I bring down Herman, and he's my latest rescue that we own. That's mine, and he's a poodle, and he loves the doggy tea parties to raise money for than anybody. It's where you have a tea party and you invite all of your rich celebrity friends, and you have and they donate, and you bring all the dogs in for the tea party in their little hats, as Margaret was telling you, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Tea party for adoption, we call it, and it's for doggies.
It's wonderful. And are there any do you have any hobbies that you would like to share?
I would love to have a hobby, but I never had time. I was always busy at my work. My work is like a hobby. But it's a hobby that you're paid for and you work at constantly. And of course, I never really, did a whole lot of spent a whole lot of time with a hobby. So many of my friends, were fishermen, or they would go fishing on weekends, or things like that. I never had time for that.
Well, do you collect?
Oh
anything?
yeah, I collect movie stuff.
Oh really? Oh,
I love movie things like posters and. Like posters and Hollywood, because I love old Hollywood, classic Hollywood, I should say. So I collect classic Hollywood memorabilia and pictures of all my friends and all the people I've met. I have signed pictures of all the people I worked with and all the people I met. So which is really amazing through the years, and you don't realize how much you have until you stop one day and look in that particular storage unit, in my own case, and I said, oh my gosh, I've got more than a museum. So one day I'll have to do something about that. I don't know what, but yeah.
well, that's wonderful, Randal. I want to ask also, is there a website that we can go to for
As
you?
I told this gentleman earlier, I don't know anything about the computer. I know that I'm Randal Malone, but I don't know anything about the computer. And so there are many websites, I am told, but I have nothing to do with them, sadly, and I don't know anything about them. But hopefully, in the very near future, there is an agency that's contacted us, and they want to sit down with us and do things, in terms of building websites and what they call a Facebook, whatever that is. There are several out there, and they say they're me, but they're not. They are not me. Someone else is doing it. I don't know how that works. I don't know how they can do that, but I just go, oh well, whatever.
That's right.
So
Some people are inevitable, and you are one.
I don't know.
Well,
I hope I don't hurt myself doing
No,
that.
that's right. Well, whatever that is. I know. Well, Randal, I know. It's such a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. It was
Pleasure.
it was my pleasure. It was my pleasure talking to you.
Same here.
So
Same
thank you.
here. I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I do want to ask, are there
What?
any other projects that you're involved
Yes.
in? That's what I wanted to ask as well.
We have so much coming up in the future. One of them, I'm going to be doing aside from the Merry Little Christmas House, we have Margaret and I have my guest house, and we've never used it. And it's the guest house on my property in Los Angeles, and we are transforming it into a project called the Merry Little Christmas House, where we want to use that for children to come and have Christmas anytime they want. It doesn't have to be December 25th. It can be children who are not well, children who maybe will be busy at Christmas, but they can come and have Santa Claus and presents and anything they want during the year, throughout the year. Sometimes we all need a little Christmas, don't we?
Bringing tears to my eyes right now, just thinking about it. And that's a
Well, it was
wonderful
Margaret.
idea.
Well, we were out by the pool one day, and she said, "It's a beautiful guest house. It's a shame you never did anything with it." And then we started talking about, Margaret's love for children, and mine too. And I said, "You know what? You know what we can do?" And the two of it, and she named it, the Merry Little Christmas House, after that beautiful song written for Judy Garland by Hugh Marlowe called "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." I guess we couldn't name it that, but she said we could name it Merry Little Christmas House.
As long as you don't sing it, we don't have to pay royalties.
Right. I'm gonna have her sing it.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's but it will be a wonderful thing, and we've already started it. So that's my big. In fact, I told everybody I'm not going to be available for any work. Supper, yeah, but no work,
Right.
because we're going to be focusing on this till November, till it opens.
Oh, wow, wonderful. Oh,
Thank you.
spectacular. Thank you again.
Well, you'll be reading about that because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be really amazing. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to donate something or be involved. The whole guest house will be dedicated just to Christmas themes: trees, Santa Claus, reindeers, a snow area, a Christmas tree lane, and we worked with some designers who are going to help us in terms of spacing.
And of course, you'll be Santa.
No, I won't have time to be. But we have a wonderful Santa who does all of my parties every year, and we're going to hire him to come and be Santa throughout the year for the different children and different things. It'll be great for someone who maybe can't come at Christmas for whatever reason, but they can come then and have their holiday when they want to. So, which is amazing.
Words. I mean, that's incredible.
I just think it's so cool.
It is.
Because you should be able to celebrate a wonderful holiday like Christmas anytime you want.
Exactly.
It's not just one day. It could be anytime that you feel like you need it. So, and we all do need it sometimes, a celebration.
Yes,
So,
we do. Yes, we do.
well, thank you, Martha.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. I love doing it.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.